Chapter 2's fourth objective is to journalize and post sample transactions to the ledger. In this objective, what we're going to do is to take transactions from the journal and update the ledger accounts. Okay, so if you turn to page 94 in Chapter 2, S2-8, we're going to demonstrate this with an exercise. Okay, so on page 94, the first thing we do with any accounting problem is read the requirements. It says to record the two transactions for Jonathan Law Firm. Include an explanation for each transaction. Then we'll open T accounts for cash, accounts receivable, and service revenue. Post to all three accounts. Compute each T account balance and note it as BAL period. Okay, and then requirement number 3 is to answer these questions based on your analysis. How much did the business earn? Which account shows this amount? How much in total assets did the business acquire as a result of the two transactions? Identify each asset and show its amount. So, Jonathan Law Firm performed legal services for a client who could not pay immediately. The business expected to collect the $9,000 in the following month. Later, the business received $5,400 cash from the client. Okay, so they perform legal services, but the client can't pay. So what we'll do is we will debit accounts receivable for $9,000, credit service revenue. Perform legal services on account. So the receivables increases by $9,000. The service revenue increases by $9,000. Okay, so this is how we're updating the ledger with information from the journal. Next transaction. Later, the business received $5,400 in cash from the client. Okay, so we'll debit cash $5,400. We'll credit the accounts receivable for $5,400. So the ledger gets debited $5,400 in cash. The accounts receivable gets credited for $5,400 in cash. Okay, so now we need to come up with the balances for each of the three ledger accounts: cash, accounts receivable, and service revenue. Cash stays at $5,400. The accounts receivable is a net of $3,600, and of course service revenue stays at $9,000. So the three questions that needed to be answered: how much did the business earn? That's the $9,000. Service revenue, and the service revenue account reflects that amount. How much in total assets did the business acquire as a result of the two transactions? Well, they received $5,400 in cash, and they have another $3,600 in receivables, so that would be a total of $9,000 that the assets increased.